We're here today looking at Route to Le Tholonet by Paul Cézanne from 1900 to 1904. It is one of the nearly 40 paintings that he made during the roughly 20-year period that he spent at or around Chateau Noir. He painted this in the final stage of his life, during which he became more and more recluse, and which led to many of his relationships with others becoming strained.
And you can see evidence of the strained relationships through his use of color, because he actually ended up using darker earth tones.
Yeah, and something that's interesting about this painting is that it doesn't show the actual route. You can imagine Cézanne standing on the road painting this scene, but you don't actually see the road.
Mm-hmm.
But it does show the kind of journey that his art takes, the process that he goes through from kind of this unfinished product at the bottom to a more finished product at the top. And this process that Cézanne goes through deals with a lot with the experimentation, right?
Yes, Cézanne painted perspective by using color rather than lines, which was actually more common to other painters during his time. And by using color instead of lines, he creates a sensation of space by using different shades of the same color. He also creates a sharp contrast through the lack of color between the rough sketch of the house and the forest and the mountains seen behind it.
Yeah, and this contrast brings about a kind of controversy in the work, in the art world, of whether or not this is a finished work. I, for one, think that it wasn't purposefully left in this manner, that he forgot about it in some way, because you see that he was working on the bottom, that there is sketches, and that he did kind of paint over the sketches a little bit to try and make them more permanent. And then also to the right of the right tree, you see that he was experimenting with different hues of the blacks to kind of figure out what to do next in this foreground.
Yes, on the other hand, others argue that him using paint over his paint sketches was his way of finishing the painting, because this painting is very reminiscent of his watercolor paintings. He chose to expose blank canvas rather than painting the entire piece. You can also see his preference for nature, because it's the only part that is colored in, therefore bringing a sense of life into his painting.